Welcome, everyone, to the Fandom Podcast Network special presentation of True Believers, our Marvel MCU and superhero podcast here, of course, on the Fandom Podcast Network. Thank you, everyone, for coming. My name is Kevin, and I'm going to be your host this week. First of all, if you're watching live, please feel free to jump into the chat. Let us know what you think. We appreciate that. We'll share your thoughts as well. This is, of course, True Believers, and we are discussing Daredevil Born Again Season 2. This is our spoiler reaction show here on the True Believers Podcast, Fandom Podcast Network. And if you're watching the YouTube channel, please hit that QR code there. It'll take us to our website with all of our awesome podcasts underneath the Fandom Podcast Network umbrella. We are discussing Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Episode 4, Gloves Off. And if you haven't already, go back and check out our previous episodes. We discussed, of course, the first episode of Season 2, The Northern Star. Also, Episode 2, Shoot the Moon. Episode 3, The Scales and the Sword. But we are discussing Gloves Off here on Daredevil Born Again Season 2. I want to give you guys a quick spoiler alert. If you have not already seen the episode, please make sure you do. But before we go any further here, I want to, of course, introduce my special guest, longtime friend, good buddy of mine. Please welcome Mr. Cat Cedar. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, ready to talk about Deadpool. I mean, Daredevil. My bad. Too many D's in the world.
We got a lot to talk about. This is a good episode. Our buddy Kyle couldn't make it this week. He's been a little busy. He's in tax hell. He's got other stuff going on. But we miss you, buddy. We'll see you next week. So get some rest, too. Love you.
That's for you, Kyle.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let's get into some Marvel MCU news.
It's time for Snit, Thwip, and Kapow. Let's get to some MCU news.
All right, Kat, we got some cool news. Now, we knew this was coming, but it was nice to actually see a trailer for the new Punisher One Last Kill movie coming out on May 12th. Frank Castle searches for the meaning beyond revenge. An unexpected force pulls him back into the fight. Very vague. The trailer's very vague. We don't see a whole lot, but we do see a bearded Frank. And what's really cool about this, too, a little trivia, John Barenthal, this is his first writing credit. He's also a producer on this. So it's obviously they worked closely with him on this. And this also sets up directly Punisher's appearance in Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out a little bit later. Let me get your first reactions, Kat, on Punisher One Last Kill trailer. What'd you think?
I thought it was great. I mean, it was a great teaser trailer. I hope we can maybe get one more trailer before it actually comes out so we can actually see a little more. A little bit of action was nice. A plot synopsis was nice. One thing about the guy who plays Punisher, I don't know, John
Barenthal.
Yeah, he is you probably remember this from a few years ago when he got the first role of Punisher. He didn't know anything about Punisher. So he went to a comic book store to pick up comics to see what the Punisher was all about. And the guy recognizes, hey, no, don't read that crap. This Warzone, and read the good stuff. And so he read him, and now he's also a big comic fan of the Punisher, and which is when they let him write it. He used stuff from Warzone and other issues of comics that have come and gone from the Punisher, which makes this so much better, in my opinion. So I cannot wait to watch this.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a hard R if we say it that way, because it looks like there's language in it, there's violence in it, and that's what we want from our Punisher as well.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad that Disney isn't sugarcoating this Punisher, because I remember when he was going to, be seen in either Daredevil or get his own either series or movie. We were like, are they going to Disneyfy it? And it looks like they're letting him be like Netflix Punisher or Punisher from the movies, So
I think they're realizing that because Deadpool did a rated R one and it was so good, people loved it. Like, okay, well, we realize Punisher is a dark character. He does shoot people. He does kill people. He's not a pansy kind of character. Quote unquote, he's not a Spider-Man kind of character where he'll punch you and knock you out. He'll punch you and then keep punching you in the face until you're dead.
Right. Yeah.
So they probably, let's give it an R rating, but let's maybe tone the R rating down. Like, oh, he kills somebody, and you see like the splatter of blood, but you don't see him, punching his face into submission.
So, Kat, what I love about you is that we share a lot of the same fandoms, and we've known each other for a very long time, 40-something years now. I think it's
almost
crazy.
41.
Yeah, and we were friends when that first Punisher movie, Dolph Lundgren, came out.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was a big deal for me because I remember reading about the Punisher and going, man, and we finally got a movie. But I wanted to ask you real quick, of all the Punisher movies that's been out there, which was your favorite?
This guy. He
okay. Let me clarify. Of the movies that obviously that he's not in, anything that's not John Barenthal is definitely probably there. I mean,
I see what you're saying. I would say the first one was Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane, yeah, that was a good one. I remember that Travolta was the villain in that, and he did a good job of not just killing him but tearing his life apart.
Yeah, they also did a good job of keeping to his storyline of his family being, killed, and that's why he became the Punisher.
I have a certain nostalgia for Dolph Lundgren's original one. But the one that I keep returning to, and it's funny that you mentioned Punisher Warzone, is the one with Ray Stevenson.
Yeah,
that one is so violently awesome.
I love that it was violent, but I think for the Punisher it might have been a little too violent, which is why it doesn't rate so high on the meter.
Yeah, I thought it was great. It was.
I liked it too. Yeah, violent. Yes, give me.
But we'll probably do a reaction show to this. We'll have to get you on for that because this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this. So.
Me too.
And looking forward to Barenthal as the Punisher, just crushing it. So yeah.
Oh yeah, and taking care of the Kingpin's elite dudes.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, we've got some, this is a Marvel MCU podcast here, so that means we've got phases. First phase is plot descriptions, reactions, cast comments, and stuff. Phase 2 will be Easter eggs and cameos. Phase 3 will be plot analysis and any other ties to the MCU. And phase 4 will be the final thoughts and any predictions and closeouts. So let's get into the first phase. All right. Again, we want to give you guys a spoiler alert here for episode 4, Gloves Off. Please make sure you have seen this episode. Of course, you're probably listening or watching this because you already know what's going on. You want to hear what we have to say. So this is, of course, Daredevil Born Again, season 2, episode 4, Gloves Off. Here we go. All right. Dex brutally massacres a squad of AVTF officers after luring them into the diner. Murdock, Page, and McDuffie record testimonies of the Red Hook detainees. And Angela pays a friend to discreetly get the recordings to BB. Mr. Charles attempts to coerce Fisk into restarting Red Hook's arms shipments, but Fisk warns Charles to be patient after his fixer, Buck Cashman, easily dispatches of Charles' backup. Vanessa visits McCaffrey and convinces her to permit Red Hook's operation. Murdock worries that Dex will attempt to assassinate the Fisk, so he investigates the diner while disguised as an AVTF officer, leading him to Clinton Church, where Dex visits to seek forgiveness. Murdock finds Dex in his apartment, but he escapes. After a brief fight, of course. Fisk easily wins a propagandized boxing match at Fogwell's gym. Vanessa attends against Fisk's wishes, as the match was meant to be a trap to lure Dex out. Dex attacks, gets shot by Vanessa, and throws a piece of glass merchandise towards Fisk, which Fisk smashes using the winner's belt. Murdock prevents Fisk from killing Dex, but they escape. The glass shard hits Vanessa in the head, causing her to bleed profusely and collapse. All right, Kat, let's get your first reactions of this episode. What say you, sir?
Absolutely amazing. I like this episode. Probably my favorite one of the 4 so far. Although I'm still waiting for Jessica Jones to show up. But this
I know, right?
This ties true to a lot of things that Fisk did in the comics. Even with the boxing match and the promotion. That's not how his wife dies. She was shot. And I believe
shot by who?
And I believe in one iteration it was shot by Bullseye.
Okay.
One was shot by Rose, which is ironically Kingpin's son. him growing up. So there's a few iterations that they've taken from it. Being cut in the head is a new one, but then again, they don't want to make
it kind of puts a little bit of blame on Fisk, a little bit,
absolutely.
which throws a little extra like twist into it. So
but I love the opening scene with Bullseye. I love that whole fight scene. I loved a little bit later when Murdock goes in as the officer and sort of like shouts down to those other guys like, "Oh, okay, fine, we'll just leave, whatever, dude. Yeah, you got this." But no one actually looks at his eyes to see that he's not looking at them. He's just because he's obviously blind. But he looks at them, but he doesn't look at them, and they're like, "Oh, wait a minute, are you not looking at me?" But I love my favorite part of the whole episode, besides that atrocious costume, which I still hate, and I'll still talk about it to this day. When Dex walks out, the bullseye symbol on the doors. Yeah. That was, mwah. Thank you for that at least.
Clarify for those of you that were not here last time. You are not a fan of the current iteration uniform or costume that Bullseye has, right?
No, I am not. We've had this discussion, and thanks to you, we were calling him Beachhead Bullseye now. That's what he looks like. I mean, like we've said it. You and I have said it. We talked about it a little bit before. Kyle and I have talked about this. Why didn't you just put him in a basic black one suit, white gloves, white boots, or off-white or tan white or something? A bullseye on his chest, a belt, and a hood.
I haven't been really looking for it, but are other fans a little weirded out or not? Or
absolutely.
Agree with you? Yeah.
Everyone I talked to that's seen Daredevil season 2 that I go to at my local gaming store, who also nerds and follow Daredevil and follow the show, and follow the podcast. They have likes, notifications on, but they're like, "What the hell is he wearing? What is that crap?" And I'm like, I'm going to warn you right now. Bullseye is amazing. His costume is fucking atrocious. Pardon my German, folks.
If you're watching or listening, let us know what you think of Bullseye's costume in this. I don't know if it's his final outfit design, but it seems pretty final right now.
I'm hoping, like I said before, that he has a costume in like another house somewhere or a hideout, and this is just what he had available to grab and put on so that he doesn't stand out.
I do have a question for you because we'll touch on it a little bit later, but is he always been a villain? Has he ever turned and become an ally with anyone that's good?
He has fought with Daredevil against a greater evil, but then turned on Daredevil at the end. And of course, Daredevil knew he was going to. But he has never been considered a good guy. He is a mercenary for hire. A killer for hire, because he kills. He doesn't. There's no. Oh, I'm gonna bring you in alive or dead. No, I'm gonna bring you in dead.
Gotcha. Well, if you feel the same as Kat does about his current iteration of his costume uniform / let us know how you feel, because I'm kind of curious about that, because I haven't been looking for it, so I haven't heard, but I know you're not a fan of it, and I'll be honest with you. After seeing the original comic design, I'm like, they could have done a lot better. I mean, we get the classic Wolverine in Daredevil in Deadpool and Wolverine. We can get something a little closer to the original for Bullseye. So I get it. I completely get it, dude. I
get it. A black one suit, the Bullseye in the middle.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier when we were talking, give me off-white, light white, almost beige color, so it doesn't really stand out too much. But give me the freaking Bullseye. That's his whole moniker, the Bullseye.
My first reactions was this was probably my favorite episode. I love how it started with the diner. We'll get more into that a little bit later. But I liked how all the pieces were kind of coming to a crescendo here a little bit. And I was wondering how the boxing match, which is, pretty much a trap to get Bullseye there, and it worked. But it's a lot of pieces are moving, and I like it when an episode does that and brings in some good scenes as well. So
keeps it consistent.
Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of, let's get into our cast and crew comments. Who usually what we like to do is if you had an MVP of this episode, Kat, who would it be?
Normally, I would pick somebody that is not a main cast member, just because I love this cast. They do a amazing job. Every one of them has either researched their characters or have been told what their characters are like, or been given in-depth information about what their characters are like, so that they have something to sort of play on. Everyone does an amazing job, but this episode, I'm giving it to Daredevil. Oh my God, what's the real
Charlie
actor's
Cox, Mr.
Charlie
Murdock.
Cox.
Yeah.
Yes, Charlie
good.
Cox, because he did a great job this episode. The way he sort of emphasized when he was talking to the new White Tiger, when he was talking to those cops, it's just like playing a little bit more of a darker Daredevil / Murdock to sort of push where he's going to. And I thought he did a great job at doing that. And I think, for me, he is my pick this week for best standout, crew member.
It's really easy to point to Bullseye in this one, especially the way the intro does. And so I'll give it to but I really want to give it to Vincent D'Onofrio as Fisk, Kingpin here, because there's a lot of things that you're starting to see patterns with that I really like about his character and how he portrays the Kingpin or Wilson Fisk. And the one scene that I'm referring to is when he's meeting up with Mr. Charles, played by Matthew Lillard. Mm-hmm. And Charles has his two little henchmen there, and then Cash is hanging out next to Fisk. And he really doesn't like it when people are rude. He prefers common courtesy, even though there's, life and death at stake here. And, don't be pushy, and like he's still going to honor the deal, but, stop pushing me type of thing. And I liked how he reiterated that in this scene. It just, Vincent D'Onofrio as Fisk is just phenomenal. I wanted to give him. I mean, would there have been anyone else you would have thought of that you would have preferred to have cast as Fisk in this whole entire series?
No. I can't even think of any actor that even the size,
right?
shape,
yeah,
the body weight to play a Fisk. I mean, Jack Black maybe, but he doesn't have the serious.
Yeah, he's too comical, and he's Jack Black and everything.
Yeah, and D'Onofrio is amazing. He does an amazing job, and that he's playing a great Kingpin, Wilson Fisk, because he's, again, whatever information that they're giving him from comics and letting him read and study, he's following a lot of the Kingpin's sort of ideologies from the comics as well. The whole okay, you're going to be an asshole to me. Well, I'm going to kill you then.
Yeah.
Or oh, you want to talk? Let's talk. Okay, I understand. I hear where you're coming from. Here's my response.
Yeah, he's so calculated. He's great.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, by the way, if you're watching this, please give us a shout out or put your comments in the live chat there. We'd love to read them and share them on here. Anyway, let's get into the next phase. All right, we've got some Marvel trivia and Easter eggs. I always like to have a little fun with. And the first one we have here, we're going to be discussing that whole scene in the beginning there. This episode contains the infamous Bullseye diner fight scene. Now, Kat, when I saw this as trivia, and I'm like, okay, first of all, is this referring to a famous scene in the comic book? I couldn't find any reference to that, but I did find reference to this famous scene elsewhere. Did you know if this mirrored anything in the comics at all?
He's been in many diners and fought many heroes in diners and many people in diners as well. He even fought Luke Cage and Iron Fist, Power Man and Iron Fist, sorry, in a diner. So a diner is his local hangout, I guess would be the best thing. So this could have been taken from multitude of different comics and different iterations of it. Anything in particular, I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Gotcha. Well, Wilson Bethel, who plays Bullseye here, is really phenomenal in this opening scene here, and I love the way that it's set up here. But he was being interviewed prior to the release of this episode, and the interviewer asked him, and I guess this was making the rounds because I did do a Google search of like, how is this referred to, especially in the IMDb trivia, as the infamous Bullseye diner fight scene. They ask him, is there a particular moment in this season that is one of your favorites? And he says, yes, there's a diner scene. And so that's what I'm assuming that this reference to, that he couldn't wait for people to see because he really, really enjoyed it there. So Bullseye went bonkers in the Bel Air Diner in Astoria not to be confused with the Square Diner in Tribeca, where Daredevil drama usually occurs. Fun fact, Bel Air was also the subject of the Kitchen Nightmares episode. So this particular real diner has a history behind it. The other thing I thought was interesting here too, and I didn't catch this, so this was definitely a trivia here, and you could throw this in as an Easter egg. Bullseye ordering a banana milkshake in the diner can't be a coincidence. After all, his apartment in Netflix's Daredevil Season 3 featured banana-flavored protein powder in his kitchen, making this milkshake a wild deep cut for the show that was originally not going to connect to the Netflix era at all before the first season's major creative overhaul. All things considered, it was pretty wild, full circle callback. I have no memory of this at all, but I'm glad that they did do a deep cut. Someone was doing their homework, Kat.
I don't remember that either, but I've said that many times that whoever is watching the old shows and taking notes and getting information and bringing us back to, they are amazing. They need to get a raise and never let them go.
Exactly. All right, the next bit I have here is this episode features scenes from Daredevil 2015 in flashbacks, making this episode the first Marvel Studios production to incorporate footage from a Marvel television production after the latter was absorbed into Marvel Studios. We've touched on this before. There's been references, and it's really nice that Disney and the creatives decided to not let, basically what they did with the Star Wars Legends, saying that the Netflix Daredevil does not exist. I'm glad that they're making reference to this. They're bringing people back from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad it's just a continuation, and it really, that's one of the things I love about this. Your thoughts?
Oh, 100%. I agree. I am very happy that they're bringing back Netflix. And again, like I said last week, it also gives people a chance that who may or may not have watched the original Netflix shows. Go watch them.
Yeah,
you may see some stuff
because now they're connected to the overall, new MCU.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So I love that for them. Keep it up.
Speaking of Marvel, I didn't catch this, but this was kind of cool. If you're watching the video, you'll see this. Rather than the typical red, the Marvel Studios logo instead has a blue background for the Bullseye-focused episode, tying to Born Again's frequent blue lightning saturation during major Bullseye scenes. So you'll notice that his outfit, which you don't like, does have a blue tint to it. I'm not sure why they've kind of stuck with that, but that seems to be the direction that they're going. So yeah.
Couldn't tell you with that green ugly mask.
All right, we've got some more Marvel Easter eggs here. Mayor Fisk's charity boxing match against Mike Matterhorn Melendez is happening at Fogwell's gym, where Matt Murdock spends a lot of his childhood with his father, who was a professional boxer before he was killed for not throwing a match. Even when some shots of the original Netflix Daredevil show when Daredevil reminisces about his past. Did you catch this at all? I did not.
I knew about the Fogwell gym part because, again, I read the comics.
Is that a major plot point throughout the comics? Is that something?
It is in the early parts of the comics. Like Bruce Wayne losing his mom in Crime Alley.
Right.
Matt Murdock losing his dad in the back of Fogwell's gym.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
But it does play many references throughout the years for, spots where people meet up with Daredevil or the police meet up with Daredevil for helping a case or something. So it's been in the comics several times. Cool.
All right, the next bit we have here is Bullseye is shown wearing headphones in his apartment before he's attacked by Daredevil. This is likely a nod to Netflix's Daredevil Season 3, where Bullseye frequently listened to tapes of his old therapy sessions to keep himself grounded. These headphones are also a solid visual cue for viewers, giving Bullseye's current instability with the belief that, quote, one good deed will balance the scales and make up for Vanessa manipulating him into killing Foggy Nelson in Daredevil Born Again Season 1. It looks like he's rocking the Sony Discman there. Did you ever have a Discman? Kind of looks like that a little bit,
Yeah, we used to skateboard to school, or when we would skateboard to the movie theater. I had that in my pocket.
Yeah,
while we skateboarded.
They would say that they wouldn't skip, but they always did.
oh yeah, no, you hit one bump or one rock, you're like, welcome to the Sweet Child of Mine. What? Wait a minute, what the hell just happened?
Jumps a whole song. I like that. All right, the last bit of trivia we have here, and this was cool. While Vanessa Fisk talks to the governor of New York in Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Episode 4, we can see the New York seal behind her and the state's motto, Excelsior, the same motto of the late Marvel legend Stan Lee. Of course, it makes sense for the New York state seal and motto to be the governor's office through the connection to Stan Lee is still fun to point out just the same, regardless of the intent. So that was nice. We got a little love. Excelsior of Mr. Stan Lee.
Yep.
So there we go. All right, guys. Well, this is, of course, we're discussing, this is True Believers on the Fandom Podcast Network, discussing Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Episode 4, Gloves Off. Let's go ahead and get into the next phase. All right, this is the first topic we're going to be discussing here. And this is one I'm bringing to the table here, because I want to get your thoughts on this. It seems like, so Bullseye is always, he's really good with a lot of weapons, obviously. And he's very accurate, and he's known for a lot of headshots, as we've seen in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
But there seems to be a deliberate attempt to use him using mostly edged weapons and not that many guns. We've seen him shoot a gun, of course, here and stuff like that. And what I'm wondering is, do you think that they're trying to take Bullseye in a little bit different direction? So because we know Frank Castle, the Punisher, is always using guns usually, and he'll use explosives and knives and stuff, but he's mostly a gun guy. But it seems like Bullseye is using a lot of edge weapons. Do you think that they're trying to say, like, he can do what he needs to do, but we don't want to get him confused with like another Punisher style of vigilante?
Believe it or not, Bullseye is actually famous for using weapons that aren't weapons to kill people. He wants to do it in a way that is sort of like monumentous or very.
Can you give me an examples of what you're talking about?
Absolutely. There's a comic book that came out. Unfortunately, before 9/11, and some, I believe it was Arab gentlemen, the dashikis, the white headband hats, were looking for someone to kill somebody, and they meet Bullseye, who's not wearing a mask. He's just in, regular clothing, t-shirt, jeans, jacket, and they walk out to the patio, and they're looking around, and they see, from building A, some, 100 feet away, and then like 100 feet down. So it was like he's on level 40 and she's on level 20. And the Arab gentleman, and again, if it's not Arab, I am apologetic. I couldn't remember exactly what it was. Says to Bullseye, because they don't know who he is just yet, make the baby an orphan. So Bullseye walks over to the edge of the window, looks down, pulls out a toothpick, flicks it 200 yards away, and kills the woman.
Oh, wow.
And then they're like, oh, okay, we will hire you. You what? And they go, why don't you use a gun? He goes, because I think it'd be funny to find out when the cops find out how she died. The toothpick already dissolved.
Well, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Blair. He is watching us right now.
Hi, Blair.
Hey, Blair. Yeah, he's one of my coworkers. He's a big fellow Marvel superhero nerd, and we always talk Daredevil. So it'll be interesting to chat with him this week. He says people for years didn't want to admit the Netflix canon was literal. In season 1 of Daredevil, Netflix had a Battle of New York newspaper in the background. I'm really happy, though, they're finally acknowledging it, though. So I'm curious to see how far that they're going to go with that. Blair, thanks for chiming in there. Please feel free to do more. Yeah. So, Kat, do you think they're definitely trying to showcase him as not just another Punisher type, basically?
Absolutely. Like I said, toothpicks, cards, forks, knives. He uses all kinds of weapons. He doesn't necessarily just use guns. He can, obviously, but prefers, like I said, wants the police to find out how the person died as opposed to a gunshot to the head, Right. Like I was saying, when he killed her with the toothpick, he's like, how are they going to find out what killed her? Because the toothpick will be dissolved by the time they get there.
I like that he's using like forks and other little things like
those
that.
Those are all his specialties.
Yeah, and he does not seem to miss, which is fantastic. All right, so another little bit of Mr. Bullseye I have here is Bullseye calling himself one of the good guys. And Blair, feel free to chime in on your thoughts on Bullseye's outfit, because we know that Kat does not like this one here. He chimes in again here. Blair says, remember back in season 3 when he used scissors, pens, etc. in the office sequence when he wore Matt's suit. Phenomenal sequence. I need to rewatch that. I vaguely remember that. You remember that, Kat?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a great fight scene with him using every office equipment piece he could find, including a trash can.
So Bullseye calling himself, quote, I'm one of the good guys. He says that to one of the diner patrons, the one with the dog, if you remember that. Calling himself one of the good guys following the absolute bloody carnage he created in the diner by killing all the ABTF agents. Bullseye's misguided and twisted attempt to fight on the side of the Angels is not unlike in the comics when he was a member of the Thunderbolts during the original Civil War event, and then subsequently posed as Hawkeye on Norman Osborn's team of Dark Avengers following the events of Secret Invasion. While Bullseye was never fully redeemed in the comics per se, it looks though the MCU is doing a similar arc where Bullseye's idea of being on, quote, Daredevil's side is going to be just as violent and dangerous as fighting against a man without fear. So it feels like not necessarily he's joining and fighting alongside Daredevil, but he's basically fighting against Fisk and killing all of his cronies as well.
Like I said earlier, the greater evil. Yeah. So he's thinking he's helping Daredevil or working with Daredevil to fight against Fisk, but he's psychotic. So I guess that'll happen probably until the point where he either shoots Fisk or kills Fisk, or not kill him because we know he'll be back, but put him in the hospital, which is why we'll have a new mayor, and then turn on Daredevil, which is what I'm expecting to happen sometime between now and maybe early season 3, depending on when they put Fisk on the shelf.
Well, there's been a lot of buzz about Wilson Bethel's performance as Bullseye here. And even one of the producers of the show has gone on to say this. Says Daredevil born-again producer Brad Winderbaum praises Wilson Bethel's performance as Bullseye as one of the best superhero villain performances of all time. You guys haven't even seen the best stuff yet.
Wow.
So I want to get your thoughts on his comment about one of the best superhero villain performances of all time. What say you?
I think he's doing an amazing job as a villain. He's got his mannerisms down. He's got his tics, his fighting style, things he's doing. I love him. I think he's
regarding what you know about the comics, he's pretty much got his style down. Then
100%.
He just doesn't have his stylist.
He needs something.
So producer Brad Winderbaum also says, quote, you guys haven't seen the best stuff yet. Wonder what he means by that. Are we going to see a lot more carnage by our good friend here?
I hope so. Please bring it on. And bring on his real outfit.
Before we move along from Bullseye, was there anything about Bullseye you wanted to mention in this episode, Kat?
His costume sucked.
Other than that.
He did a great job. I love in the opening diner scene when he calls the cops, he's like, I think I just saw Frank Castle. It's like trying to blame Punisher for what's about to happen. That was great. Everything he's doing is great. He's following his T's, crossing his T's, dotting his I's, reading up on the lore and Bullseye, seeing everything about him, and probably wondering the same thing I am. What's with this fucking outfit?
Well, Buddy Blair chimes in again here saying, I think it would be an interesting angle if Matt became Dex's, quote, North Star, referred to season 3, almost turning him into a Batman Joker type relationship where Dex gets fulfillment out of terrorizing Matt. What do you think?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's still going to, obviously take out the ABTF agents and anything that has anything to do with, of course, Wilson Fisk and Kingpin there, but it's gonna be interesting to see. This was a great Bullseye episode. Yeah. If we haven't seen the best stuff yet, I'm excited.
Bullseye, just to give you that idea as well, he's the opposite side of the coin of Matt. Yeah. So if Matt is on one side, Bullseye would be his other side.
Yep. All right. The next topic I wanted to bring up here with you, Kat, and of course, Blair, feel free to chime in. Thank you for doing so, by the way, brother. Angela Del Toro, the new white tiger, question mark. Daredevil says to her, quote, "You understand the responsibility that comes with that." Of course, that's the amulet that's wearing around her neck. Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Episode 4 sees Matt Murdock asking Angela Del Toro if she understands, quote, "the responsibility that comes with wearing her uncle's amulet, and if she's truly ready to become the new white tiger." It's a truly great scene, while also proving that a live-action Daredevil/Spider-Man team-up is well overdue in the MCU. So, first of all, Kat, give me what they mean to this character and the Daredevil Spider-Man team-up. How does this kind of come together, you think?
From the comic point of view, Daredevil, Spider-Man, White Tiger, they're all ground level superheroes. You know, they don't do the big cosmic stuff. They don't do, you know, big combats like Titan. They don't fight Thanos usually. Generally, they're more or less the street thugs, Kingpin, and Bullseye and Green Goblin and those kind of villains. You know, they have aspirations, but they're not looking to control the world and go into universes beyond their own realm. White Tiger is one of those, and when the daughter becomes the White Tiger, both Peter and Daredevil both support her and help her and offer her, you know, hey, let me teach you how to do this, or maybe try this. You know, don't do what your dad did. Don't give in to the necklace and be aggressive and angry and mean. You know, try to control the necklace so that you can be a superhero and not just a vigilante.
Yeah, you know, she seems a little young for someone to take that on, but she seems to be up for the challenge. And again,
she
for
was
those
in
of
the
you
comics too.
For those of you watching, feel free to chime in on the chat. We'll appreciate you, Blair. I know you're one of them. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. I like the actress, and I'm curious to see where this is going to go and how much impact, and how this is going to affect her, and you know what she's going to do, instead of just kind of being around, hanging around, you know. So
I think she's going to have one of those moments in the comics where she's fighting somebody, and then the rage kicks in, and she's beating the hell out of him, and comes to the point with that dagger in her hand, and
right.
And then drops the dagger and doesn't give in to the killing of the guy, which would cement her more as a hero than, again, as a vigilante.
Blair chimes in again. I'm hearing early whispers that Marvel and Sony are aware that Spidey and Daredevil needs a team up. I've heard that they've even considering a Daredevil film featuring Spidey. Grain of salt, though. Oh, dude, that would be so freaking
awesome.
Cool. I mean, Sony, you love money, right? You make a lot of money with the team ups, the Avengers and Sony Spider-Man. Make this a thing. Give Matt his own movie or Spider. Oh, that would be a great team up. I mean, oh gosh.
Well, it would be a great episode if they could do it with Matt, Spider-Man, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. Introduce like Cloak and Dagger, you know, Prowler, people who are good guys. Well, not Prowler, but people who are good guys.
Yeah.
You know, Moon Knight, absolutely Moon Knight.
And we need to see Moon Knight back. I know you're a big fan of Moon Knight, and
top 10.
I'd love to see just other than that one season that we got. Okay, well, speaking of Spider-Man, and we saw a trailer recently for the newer Spider-Man movie that's coming out. It's Spider-Man Brand New Day. Kind of ties into this last topic we have here before we close things out here, Kat. So, and that is, will Fisk's tenure as mayor come to an end this season? And they're kind of sowing the seeds a little bit on this, Kat. And you're kind of getting the feeling that things are going to backfire on Wilson's Fisk's major plan here, whether it's at working with the CIA or the people that were rescued, testimonials and other things. Something's going to come to fruition here, because we saw in the trailer someone that's been in Daredevil that's giving a key to the city to Spider-Man. That's not Wilson Fisk.
Yeah. No,
so what say you? Are we going to see the end of his mayor term here?
Remember what we saw in the last episode when Kyle showed the image of Luke Cage in the suit, and then the suit was the suit that he wears when he is the mayor, at least in the comics many years later. I'm believing Fisk is going to get shot or maybe killed, hit by bullseye in some way, shape, or form. But
Right.
Daredevil will reflect it or bounce it so it doesn't kill him, but puts him in the hospital. And then he'll go into jail. He'll go into
because we
go
need
to jail and then become the actual kingpin that we're used to, the violent,
right.
And let the mayorship go because he realizes that he's now falling behind and they probably don't want to vote for him again. So he'll lose his bid, I think. And then next season he'll be the kingpin.
Kingpin's gonna rule prison.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. He does.
My buddy Blair says in the chat, the Sony Marvel contract is allegedly loosening so they can have more freedom. Also heard that Fantastic Four and Spidey 2, if I'm not mistaken, Spidey debuted in an Fantastic Four comic.
He did. He became Bagman.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think. Go ahead, Kat. Sorry.
Spider-Man has been in use in talks with the Fantastic Four for many, many, many years. Mainly when his powers start to go a little crazy, they talk to him, try to figure out what's going on with him. But the issue I was just saying is that there was a time when Spider-Man goes there and they give him a Fantastic Four suit because his is just shreds and his mask is sort of like falling off his face. So they put a bag on his head and cut out the eyes and put a little eyebrows on it. And they call him the Incredible Bagman. So that's actually from the comics.
That's cool. Well, yeah, thanks for mentioning that. Before I forget, because I noticed and I was reminded of this, prove to people on the video here that you're a big Deadpool fan.
That I'm a big Deadpool fan?
Yeah, your tattoos. Show them again.
You mean these?
Yes, there you go. Very cool, brother.
Or should I show you the Deadpool Stormtrooper on my own?
Yeah, you got a Deadpool Stormtrooper tattoo as well.
Yeah.
But I love those. I love this one on your arms. Those are pretty cool for Deadpool. That's awesome.
Thank you, Shannon Ritchie.
That's
in
right.
New York at his tattoo parlor shop. I cannot remember the name, unfortunately.
Is it like Red Rocket Tattoo or something?
That's it. Yes, Red Rocket Tattoo.
Yeah, so check him out.
Shannon's amazing. He did all 3 of my tattoos. He did one of Kevin's, helped Kevin clean up one of his.
Yeah.
The guy is amazing artist. He gave us some original artwork pieces, which I'm actually going to pull mine out.
Shannon Ritchie in New York, Red Rocket Tattoo. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he did a custom Marvel comic for me too. Pretty cool.
That's mine. And that's actually me in costume as the Grundon, me in costume as the Deadpool Stormtrooper, and then a Stormtrooper.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah. Shannon Ritchie, New York. Check him out.
Yes.
All right. Well, just one more thing on the tenure of mayor here for Wilson Fisk. I feel like it has to happen at the end of this season because we need to see season 3 of him still trying to keep a grasp on his underworld as he's not mayor anymore. And so this will definitely then tie into the Spider-Man movie with a new mayor. Which we've already seen who's probably going to take over after that. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with the AVTF agents and the whole, anti-vigilante task force and how that's going to dissolve, if any. So that's going to be really interesting. So, yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and hit the final phase here, guys.
Wait, before you run away?
Oh yes.
I'm thinking that Kingpin will dissolve the ADTF, but they won't really be dissolved. They'll still be working for him because when he becomes the actual Kingpin, shit's going to hit the fan, and he's going to be very brutal, very mean, and they're going to be doing what he wants as the Kingpin, not for the mayor, whoever that's going to be, in my opinion.
True. Yeah, no, I think you're right. It'll be interesting to see that too. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and close things out. All right, this is Daredevil Born Again, Season 2, Episode 4, episode Gloves Off, our True Believers podcast here on the Fandom Podcast Network. Kat, give me your final thoughts here on this awesome episode that's zeroed in on Mr. Bullseye himself.
I really can't say much more about it, man. This was a phenomenal episode. Like I said, perhaps my favorite of the 4 so far, showing Bullseye as Bullseye, Daredevil getting a little darker, Kingpin getting a little more in his groove as becoming Kingpin, hopefully. It's just a phenomenal episode with only one caveat.
I know what that is. Yes.
That's why I didn't say it.
Yeah, no, this was a good one. I watched it twice. It was good to catch some stuff I didn't see in the first one. The performances were great. Wilson Blethel's phenomenal as this villain. He's definitely becoming one of the coolest superhero villains of all time. There's a few good ones above him, like Loki and some other ones like that, but at least for these television ones, he's definitely literally killing it. So
yeah, he is amazing for TV.
I'm really curious to see how much more violent he's going to go, and where the actor's going to take this. So yeah. Well, this is, of course, is Daredevil Born Again spoiler reaction show, the True Believers Marvel MCU and Superhero Podcast here on the Fandom Podcast Network. If you are watching the video, please hit the QR code there. It'll take you to our website. And of course, you can find, make sure, first of all, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Fandom Podcast Network YouTube channel and get notifications of our live shows. We'll be doing that throughout the rest of the season for Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Check us out on Facebook. You can also find us on Blue Sky at FanPod Network. We're also on Instagram at Fandom Podcast Network and on Twitter, X, at FanPod Network. And you can find myself. My name is Kevin. You can find me at Spartan_Phoenix on all of the socials, including Blue Sky, also on Discord and Letterboxd, as well as Instagram and X. Kat, you're on Facebook, and I know you're also on X and.
I'm on X. I'm on Blue Sky, and I'm on Instagram, but I don't ever really do any posting or do anything. I'm mainly on Facebook. Usually, the time I do Instagram is when I'm at a convention with you.
Gotcha.
Then it's just easier. But yeah, at Static Cat 1 is me.
Awesome. Follow us on TeePublic too. Get our we have shirts for all of our shows on the network, including our True Believers t-shirt. I'm also wearing my Fandom Podcast Network shirt. So give us support there. We get a little kickback.
Yeah, where's my shirt?
That's where you go in the store and you buy it and you support us, Cat. That's how that works.
Is that how that works?
That's what I'm trying to tell people to do right now.
I've been telling everyone to do that. Yeah. I thought I'd get kicked back too.
This is True Believers Marvel MCU and Superhero Podcast here on the Fandom Podcast Network. This is, of course, the spoiler reaction show for Daredevil Born Again. Kat, thank you so much for joining us this week. Really appreciate it. And I really love your insight and your knowledge on all the comics as well, sir.
I read a lot of them.
Join us next week for the next episode. We hope you guys are all enjoying the show. My name is Kevin. Thank you to my good buddy. Thank you to my good buddy Kat. Well, guys, we will see you next week.